This is cutting down the nets. It's the final four. Hopefully, the final four is better than the Elite Eight. The Elite Eight, I had like zero edge, but played it anyway. I'm not a coward, and I'll live with the results. So that 0-4 spat kind of soured my NCAA tournament. Overall, March is sitting okay, but hey, this time of year, I'm playing some smaller edges. Hopefully, you're making good decisions. I'm just look, if there's 3 games on the schedule and I have even a half point edge, I'm tempted to play it. Where I would never even consider that game in the regular season. So just some seasonality to it. So let's get to it. We have Villanova, Kansas, and we have North Carolina, Duke. Let's start with what Paddy says, and we'll dig into the data a little bit. Nova, Kansas. Paddy makes a 3. Shot quality as Nova favored. Torvik and KenPom are 2 and 1. And I think what we're seeing is a little bit of an overreaction to the Justin Moore injury. He's important. Look, I get it. I personally don't value individual players as having much value to the point spread. I think the most I've ever accounted for a player is like 3 points. And I mean, we're talking the highest of usage and a key role in the defense. And Justin Moore, great player, but probably worth like a point. I don't know. But maybe I'm wrong. That's just how I have looked at things for years. So the edge is small. I lean Villanova. I played Villanova because I'm not a coward. But how does this work and how does this go south? So I think Villanova has to not fall behind. You're likely going to see Moore replaced with Antoine and Archidiakono's little brother. I respect Antoine a little more on both sides of the ball, where Archidiakono's younger brother, I don't even know his first name. It's just permanent Archidiakono's younger brother. Better on the offensive side and really a liability on the defensive side, where Antoine is not. Jordan Majeski pointed out that, look, the sample size is super small, but Antoine in tiny splits, actually more efficient defensively than Moore. So really we're looking at the offensive side of the ball, and Villanova's offense is more of a system offense. It's not relying on isolation or anything like that. Look, they're going to pick and roll you until they find the matchup they want, then they're going to shoot a 3-pointer. So if Nova gets ahead, I think Nova wins this game. If Nova falls behind early significantly, it changes things quite a bit. Like any team, it would. But I think playing with the lead is super important in this game for Villanova. Either way, I'm on the Villanova side, and I don't expect many possessions in this game, so that kind of helps out a bit. So a game I am taking a stand on. This is rare. I mean, I've done this a long time, and to have Paddy 9 points of value in a Final Four game just usually doesn't happen. And the reason that doesn't happen is because all eyes are on the tournament games. All eyes are on these conference tournaments. So as teams start playing well, the market adjusts rather quickly. Coach K narrative, keeping Duke in play here as we're not getting away from Duke. And I get it. Duke has won games. I have major concerns and have had major concerns about Duke's defense. And let's dig into that real quick. So here's where the concerns are. This is Duke's profile on BartTorvik.com. Overall for the season, 95.7 adjusted defensive efficiency, and then the best or the most efficient offense in college basketball. And you'll see that around mid-February, the green on the defensive side, so this is the adjusted defense, this is the adjusted offense. The green on the adjusted defensive side just disappears. And look, it's okay to have 90s and stuff like that when and not have like a green, but 109, 103, 104, 107, 107, 103. I mean, that's not troubling defense. That's really bad defense. And on top of that, those results, I'm looking at KenPom's opponent tracker right now, where they just take your schedule and like, what are the profiles of the teams they're playing? And these effective field goals are bad. Arkansas, 247th in effective field goal. Texas Tech, 63. Michigan State, 87. Cal State Fullerton, 227. It's like, whoa, well, that's a good one. That's Virginia Tech. Yeah, they lost by 15. Well, that's Miami. Yeah, it was a 4-point game. And so on and so on. You know, like, if you find a team that can score the basketball against Duke, I mean, whew, here's the issue. North Carolina, here we go again. Duke draws another middling type of offense. Now, overall, they are efficient. They might not score the basketball that well, but they're efficient due to their offensive rebound rate, lack of turnovers, you know, everything that kind of leads to that. But if Duke wins, I'm just going to martingale this. Like, there's just no way I'm betting on Duke in the finals against Kansas or Villanova, who can score the basketball. So that's my Duke rant. I'm so tired of Duke, man. I'm exhausted. Tired of losing money on Duke as well. But Arkansas did not have the offense to do it against Duke, and their defense just couldn't get stops down the stretch. There were certainly paths to Arkansas winning. There was paths to Texas Tech winning. Texas Tech, I had far more confidence in than Arkansas. But yeah, again, Arkansas held Duke to 78 points in a 70-possession game. Look, it's tight. So when you look at North Carolina's side, I'm seeing consistent green with a bad ACC tournament. I'm seeing consistent green in the NCAA tournament. But here's the worrisome part for me. So I'll go back to my spreadsheet. So all that equates to Paddy's efficiencies are they're giving Duke 117 offense, 87 defense. Duke 128 offense. That's absurd. But a 101.4 defense. That's telling you guys, that's like, I don't know. I bet Ball State's around there or something like that. Okay. So how does North Carolina win? It's, control of Bunkero, and you're going to do that with probably Manic, maybe Leaky Black, maybe a combo of that. I certainly would not entertain Baycott, just leave Baycott with Mark Williams. But my concerns are, when you look at Carolina's defense, I just showed you, that's strong. All that's been against half-court teams. St. Peter's half-court team, UCLA half-court team. You want a Vegas effect. I just saw that Baylor-North Carolina game went to overtime. I don't remember that game taking place. I mean, there's some memory loss from Las Vegas, but like, that game went to overtime? That game happened? Oh, man. Hard. Tough scene out there. Okay, so transition defense. I have major concerns that North Carolina could control Duke in transition. So that's kind of my sticking point of well, I guess there is a path. Otherwise, I'd be like, look, this is just happening. North Carolina's winning this game. Not going to be difficult. But yeah, I have concerns about transition defense. I don't have any concerns about North Carolina not being able to score. So for me, this came down to Duke has done enough against some really good defenses, but never had to really worry about a team scoring on them. And that changes today. If they win, oh God, it totally changes for the championship game. So that's the hot take I have. Basically, it's a data play, but no concerns about North Carolina offense. And I think the North Carolina defense is strong enough to slow Duke in the half court. But yeah, for sure I'm worried about transition. So I've played 2 plays. Nova plus 4.5, UNC plus 4.5. So let's talk strategy here. Live betting opportunities are going to be aplenty. I would watch for an early outburst of points in Nova, Kansas, just because I can't see that pace getting out of control. So if you have an efficiency-induced early purge of points, I'd look at some live unders in that game. Same with North Carolina Duke. If you see the transition opportunities are there and it's resulting in some sloppy plays, some turnovers, or just missed opportunities, missed open looks, stuff like that. I think the over could be in play. I want to see how these games start and take place. But I'm on the Nova UNC side. If you're into teasers, I mean, just keep adding to these points, right? Like, I mean, tease Nova up, tease North Carolina up. That's what I would do. Totals, you can decide what you want to do with that. So look ahead. Again, if Duke wins this game, I'm just gonna double down um, against them in the championship, and then I'll always remember this as Coach K's farewell season, where he put a sting on a good betting year. But again, overall, hey man, we've had a good year. 55.5%, profitable every single month. Like I can't find a split that I wasn't profitable. But the Elite Eight, that's a tough scene. Just so you guys can see the tracking. So I went 0-2 in playing games. Good middle, and then 0-4 in the Elite Eight. How'd you go 0-4? Well, I played a 1.6 point edge, a 1.7, a 0.1, and St. Peter's is probably the only play that was realistic for me, albeit not great. So again, I'm not a coward, and I made my decisions. So, bit of rambling here. Let's close the Final Four well, and then I'll have a deep dive into the championship game on Sunday night. Like, we'll go into detail, we'll run a simulation, and if it's Duke, there'll be zero surprises as to where I'm leaning on that. I'm curious to see how the other games would match up. Also, I will be going social for next season. So I've never asked you guys to subscribe or hit a like button. If you have, I appreciate it. Seems to be a core group of people watching this content. And I haven't laid out a plan for next year yet, but I'll go into a little more detail on that, either in the national championship show or a off-season futures show. So that's it for the Final Four for me. This is Cutting Down the Nets. Come on, dogs, bite back after that Elite Eight, elite tilting.